of the mode of inquisition over the believers in these times, according to the account of John Paul Perrin Leonoy, and the translation of J.M.V. and B. Lydius. As regards the deceitful course, says the translator, which the aforementioned inquisitors were wont to take in the execution of their office, we would have no knowledge save what some believers who escaped the Spanish Inquisition could have told us concerning it. But it was not the will of God that these, their wiles, should remain hid, and that we should obtain no copies thereof written by themselves. Behold, then, the cunning artifices of the inquisitors, which served them for rules and instructions in conducting the process against the Waldenses. Rules of the Inquisitors. 1. It is not permitted or advisable to dispute concerning the faith in the presence of the laity. 2. No one is to be regarded as converted if he will not accuse all those whom he knows to be such as he is. 3. He who does not accuse those who are such as he is must be severed from the church as a diseased member, that the sound members may not become corrupted by it. 4. After anyone is delivered into the secular judge, great care must be exercised that he be not allowed to prove his innocence or show his harmlessness before the people, for if he is put to death the people will take offense, and if he is discharged, the Catholic faith will be endangered. 5. Care must be taken not to promise his life before the people to him who is condemned to death, namely if he indicates his willingness to become converted, seeing that no heretic would allow himself to be burned if he could escape by such a promise. And if he should promise conversion before the people, and his life would be granted him thereupon, the people would take offense at it, and think that he were put to death unjustly. 6. Observe. The inquisitor must always take the deed for granted without any consideration, and ask the questions only in regard to the circumstances of the matter, not saying, "Have you made confession to the heretics?" but, "How often have you made your confession to the heretics?" Again, do not ask, "Have they slept in your house?" but, "In what room of your house did they sleep?" and the like. 7. The inquisitor may look into a book as though he had noted down in it the life and conduct of the accused, together with everything in regard to which he is interrogating him. 8. The accused must be threatened with death if he will not confess, and be told that his doom is sealed, that he must regard his soul and, first of all, forsake his heresy. For it shall be said, "You must die, accept with patience whatever shall befall you." If he then answer, "Since I must die, I would rather die in this my faith than in the faith of the Roman Church," rest assured that previously he only pretended to be desirous of becoming converted, and therefore he must then be brought to justice. 9. Though it is not to be entertained of overcoming the heretics by skill of learning or knowledge of the Scriptures, since the learned men are much sooner confounded by them, the result of which is that the heretics are then still more confirmed and encouraged, seeing they thus outwit even those who are educated. 10. It is to be well observed that the heretics never speak right out, and that, when compelled by much questioning, they generally allege that they are simple and unlearned men, and hence know not how to answer, and that, seeing that the bystanders are moved to compassion for them, as though they were wronged, regarding them as simple and harmless people, they take courage from this and pretend to weep as poor miserable men, and, imploring their judges, make strenuous efforts to free themselves from the Inquisition, saying, "My lords, if I have erred in any matter, I will gladly accept the penance for it, but assist me to free myself from this reproach, in which I've fallen through hatred and envy, without having transgressed." But the courageous inquisitor must then in no wise be moved by such entreaties, nor give credit to such dissimulations. 11. Moreover, the inquisitor shall announce to them beforehand that they will gain nothing by swearing falsely from necessity, since they, the lords, have matter enough to convict them by witnesses, and that therefore they need not think that by means of swearing they will escape sentence of death, but it must be promised them that as far as they voluntarily confess their error, they shall obtain mercy, for in such perplexity men are found who confess their errors in order to escape. "Behold," says the writer of this Inquisition, "these are the cunning artifices formerly employed by the inquisitors throughout Europe against the Waldenses, etc." Note, about this time, AD 1303, Peter Johannes taught that the Pope was the Antichrist and the Roman synagogue the Great Babylon. About his martyrdom, however, we've not been able to learn anything.